There's times we all face disappointment, aren't there? And I believe that so many times we bring that on ourselves. It's a disappointment that God did not intend for us to have. And I want to talk about that in your morning cup of inspiration. So many times we dream these dreams that we want to accomplish, and when they don't happen, we get disappointed. Think about the Levites back in the Old Testament. They were each assigned a responsibility. And of course, if you were a Levite, you probably wanted to carry the Ark of the Covenant, where God's presence was. How would you feel if you were assigned to carry a bag of tent pegs? Probably disappointed, right? Look at David. David wanted to build a temple for God. Put the plans together. He was ready to go. And what did God say? No, David, you are not building that temple. I'm going to allow your son Solomon to build that temple. What's the common thread there? I think the common thread is that God's will did not line up with the dream of those Levites or of King David. We have to follow God's will. That's where our satisfaction comes from. That's where the lack of disappointment comes into play. If we know beyond a shadow of a doubt that we're doing God's will in our life, then anything beyond that should not be a disappointment. And so many times we look, Dan Bryan and I, we could look and see some of these online social medias that do millions of followers and have all these views, and we could put our dreams to that level and be disappointed every day, but we don't, because we know and believe that the numbers that are following us are who God has brought to us, and that's his will for us for this day. So remember this verse as you go through your day. It's the 4th chapter of James, and it tells us that now listen, you who say today or tomorrow we'll go to this or that city and spend a year, carry on business and make money. You don't even know what's going to happen tomorrow. What's your life? It's a mist that appears a little while and vanishes. Instead, you ought to say, if it's the Lord's will, we'll live and do this or do that. So let's reduce our disappointment by choosing to find and doing God's will today. That is what he expects from us. That's where we can find true joy and true satisfaction. Hey, God bless. Thanks for joining me for that morning cup of inspiration, and we'll see you next time.